What's up, guys? It's your boy Miguel giving you your daily dose of radiation. In today's video, we're covering how to master the art of technique on the X-ray machine, both the fixed technique and the automatic technique, which with time the knowledge comes with that, because every machine is completely different. Every portable machine is completely different versus like the other maybe site you went to or other place you were. Like, it's completely different. Both mass, KVP, the default settings that some machines are using, or if like where you're working, or like if the machine's not working properly or it hasn't been tuned. Like, there's so many variables that until you start like actually working at that facility for a long time, or the tech who's been there the longest gives you some advice, it's like a trial and error. Like, we all know kind of like the set techniques, like a set amount, just based off like the basic on average Joe person. But it's like once the push, mainly like when bigger people, because of the penetration, mainly it's for the bigger people. We all know, like, if you're shooting someone like really, really skinny, we already know, just drop it down. But like once they start pushing like 300 plus club, then you're kind of, you're gonna have to start tweaking like a good amount, especially like for some cross table hips and stuff. The adjustment will like is this a lot. To give you an example, we have two portables, both Fuji's, that were at work. One, the default for a shoulder, no grid, no nothing, it's like, I think the KVP is a 70, and the mass is, I think, a 4. If you're a student and you don't know and you shoot it like that, your shoulder, unless the person is really, really skinny, it'll be fine. But anyone who's like maybe slightly above skinny, then you're gonna have to make some adjustments to the technique. Like, almost every patient I shoot with those portable machines, like, it'll be like a 77 mass, and then the shoulders, you could probably work with, I think ours like 70 kVp at like 14 mass. That will show up good for ours. And like even the opposite portable, the other one, like one you'll shoot it without the grid and you'll get like with those techniques, and the other one you have to shoot it with the grid and shoot it, I guess, more hot. I don't know, it's weird because like if you shoot the other one without a grid, like the technique will look bad, and then once you shoot it and then you slap a grid on it, then it'll look good. It's just kind of weird. Some stuff I'm not sure. Same thing with like for for T-spines, because you have so much anatomy in the way. If you do it like standing up with the AECs, sometimes if you do the default, it'll get like the radiation will hit the receptor quickly and it'll like shut off before it fully penetrates. So majority of the times, if you're not like there setting a technique for T-spine, unless the patient's like really skinny, majority of the time your T-spine's not going to look good versus like you actually set a technique. I mean, ours, I think we were like almost the default, we almost like tripled the default settings because it wasn't looking too good. And everything is kind of trial and error. You'll play, you'll move, you'll adjust. My advice, because every place is different, go to the veteran who's been there. I would say anyone who's been there 10 years plus should already know the craft of their machines. Should already know. I've only been at my joint for 4 years, and I'm already slightly mastering it on the portables, because majority of the time portables. I'm still trying to work on the actual big tabletops and trying to adjust technique there versus patients. Because I mean, you don't always get like the humongous patients. But it's always important to make sure you know how to set, because like you can adjust the technique on the automatic one and shoot it, but it'll still get cut off. So unless you actually set like the fixed technique, or you actually set it, yeah, I think it is fixed. No, set? No, it's fixed technique is the one where it's the default. And then I guess you set a technique is the one where you adjust it to where it can kind of override the default setting, so it can like even it can like penetrate, like even if it penetrates, it'll still like until it hits that set amount of radiation. Then because like sometimes if you don't do that and you just automatically like you move it on the default settings, it will still like the AECs will still get the radiation, and then it'll turn it off and it won't get the optimal picture. I've seen students before, like you'll keep on shooting it and shooting it, and then you're like, oh, why is it still not good? Until the veteran tech was like, hey, you're gonna have to click this. This is where you set your technique. Now you can adjust from here. You just have to be cautious because technically it's taking the safety precaution off, like the safety default, where you're setting your technique, and you have to be careful on the dose, because then you could like, if you don't know, if you're not paying attention and you kind of like bump it up too high, you could be shooting the patient with like excessive amount of radiation. That's why once you take off that safety net, then you have to be cautious on the dose. So yeah, it's been your boy Miguel. See you on the next one.